Oh, 100k. There we go. Alright. You see what weapon I have here? It's Crit Kokomi time. So, just in case anyone's unawares, Kokomi has this fun little passive that says she has a healing bonus but a 100% decrease in crit rate, which means her base crit rate is -5. Wait, -5. -95 is a big difference. Now, Crit Kokomi was a real thing kind of before this. The only way you realistically did Crit Kokomi before was by just sorting your artifacts by crit rate, and then just equipping every single highest crit rate artifact that you have. So I'll do that just to simulate what that would look like. So, you know, put this, wow, this feather has 18 crit rate on it. Wow, this piece has 14 crit rate on it. And then, you know, we gotta find like an HP, yeah, that HP timepiece has 12 crit rate on it. And then we'll just keep the goblet. And then we got a crit rate circlet, right? And then with a crit rate weapon, we got Lost Prayers here. Oh look, Kokomi has 20% crit rate with 116 crit damage. Wow, Kokomi can crit 20% of the time. But then you're running like a goofy cope rainbow build, right? And it's just like... Crit Kokomi basically is a meme option. Until today, maybe. Asterisk. We're gonna have to test out a whole bunch of things. I'm not actually confident that Crit Kokomi is necessarily a real thing now, but it's actually not completely cope. And the reason it's not completely cope is because these goofy artifacts exist now. These things, what are they called? Marchese hunters, which I might refer to as Marchese hunters because it's easier to say. Two-piece gives normal and charge attack bonus, which for Kokomi is, our focus will actually be mostly her charge attack damage in this video. So that's actually good. It's not useless on her. And then more notably, of course, the 4-piece set increases crit rate by 12% with up to 3 stacks. So that's 36% crit rate when HP increases or decreases. So if you can trigger this artifact set, giving 36% free crit rate means you can actually get Kokomi to be clear, you still want like a lot of crit rate. You still need like a crit rate weapon. You still need a crit rate circlet. And you want some decent crit rate substats. But you'll see I have some artifacts that are not crazy in the 4-piece of this set. So it means we can have a real 4-piece set bonus that has a benefit to her. And it will get her to a healthier ratio than this weird rainbow build with a competent 4-piece set. And it's just a new, fun, like, actual, real option before. Than it was before, at least. So let me switch back to the proper artifacts. Alright, so I got this flower, which is 10.1% crit rate, 13 crit damage, and some defense stats that don't do anything. And then I'm going to use this feather, which has similar crit, and that has a couple lines of ER, which is nice to have on Kokomi. We do want to use her burst. For those that are not aware, when you use her burst, she gets bonus charge attack damage based on her max HP, so it is definitely good to use her burst. That's where you'll see the biggest crit from her if you have her on crit artifacts. And you just need to use a burst, though. So, yes, we want energy recharge. I probably don't have enough energy recharge on my artifacts, to be honest, but it is what it is. I will be using an attack percent timepiece on her because I'll be running Lost Spread Sacred Winds, which with its higher base attack. When I did calculations, it is definitely better than the HP timepiece I have. HP timepiece and attack timepiece for your Kokomi's charge attack damage when you're using her burst specifically is very, very similar. Like if it was stat for stat, the same timepieces, I'd prefer an HP timepiece. But I don't have that good of an HP timepiece. It technically has more crit rate, so maybe I should use it. But I'm going to use this one because it's going to give us a bigger number, and it's close enough to this other one that it'll be better. That's my logic. The goblet will keep the same, and then this circlet I'm going to keep the same as well. This circlet is really, really good, honestly. A bunch of HP, good bit of crit damage, and some ER. So, overall build looks like this. Wow. Ratio, 4.6% crit rate. But remember, she doesn't have the passive trigger right now. With Marchese Hunters, the problem is, of course, you need to trigger the 4-piece bonus. Of course, Kokomi is a healer, so when she heals herself, she would trigger stacks, but when she's at, maximum HP like she's at right now, she's not healing anything, which means her HP is not changing, which means you do not get any stacks up. So, you need to lose HP. So, I'm going to show how this team works against good old Masanori here. The basic way that this team functions is to try to get stacks up on Marchese Hunters by abusing the nature of the burning reaction as well as the Burgeon reaction. So, if we make sure... Oh, burning is not going right now. If we stand near an enemy while... Oh, wrong character. So because of the burning reaction, we stand near the enemy. You can see we took... we took a big hit, but we also took ticks of burning damage, and you can see we got up max stacks on that by taking one hit from Masanori, and I think we took at least 2 or 3 ticks of damage from burning, which means now we have 40% crit rate and 126% crit damage on Kokomi, which... For Kokomi having negative 100% crit rate, I think this is pretty good. Especially having a proper 4-piece set rather than just doing something goofy like the rainbow build I showed earlier, right? Now, other than burning, you also have the healing, of course, when you take damage, but we also, most notably, have Burgeon. When Burgeons happen, your character takes self-damage, so that means it would also trigger the stacks on Marshall Hunters, right? So this team has multiple ways to try to get some self-damage, but it also has, you know, multiple healers. It has Bennett, who is almost dead, and then it also has, of course, Kokomi's own healing to try to keep them alive. So the self-damage is honestly mitigated very easily. So let me try to do like a proper rotation, and I'll show you how it works. Oh crap, I just realized I never leveled up Kokomi's talents. I definitely farmed the materials to, I believe, to get her talents to level 8, and then I forgot to do it. I guess I'm farming Spectres. Alrighty, well, Kokomi's talent is not leveled up yet, and I want this to be a showcase. This first rotation here, I think, is going to be something more along the lines of what you should probably play the team like, not what gets Kokomi to have maximum damage, right? So yeah, let's just do it. Blam, and we'll Bennett, and we'll do this, and we'll do this. I didn't swirl Hydro, which you definitely want to do if you want to be able to actually see meaningful damage out of Kokomi. And there's a nice 20k there. Blam. Pretty decent. That's how it works. That's basically it. She can get some big damage in this team. That was just a sneak peek preview. There are some variations of this team I will be testing in this video as well. One of them, for example, I will be testing Kokomi on this build, or maybe a slightly tweaked build, like an EM timepiece or something, but in a Nilou team, just for the funsies, why not? But then I'll also try some other variations of like this team that, you know, don't use Bennett, for example. But there's variations of this team where you can, depending on what you want to do, right? Do you want the whole team to function better, like what I do with Burgeon here? So I find Burgeon fun, and it also really consistently keeps up stacks. Or do you just want to go all in on see big number from Kokomi? Because there's different paths to doing that, right? Depending on what your thing is, and different degrees of how well they might work, depending on the Abyss cycle or whatnot. There is also the potential for, you know, Yoldi Hydro Archon that is incoming soon. We don't know anything concrete about the Hydro Archon, to be clear, but being that Fontaine has, you know, a couple of mechanics already that synergize on things like health draining, like these artifacts, and like all the characters they're releasing, I wouldn't be surprised if the Hydro Archon synergizes with Kokomi to enable much greater flexibility to do a Crit Kokomi build in any team where you pair the Archon, Furina, and Kokomi together. But we'll have to wait to see what, you know, her actual kit is like in order to determine how feasible that is. And there could be many other nuances. The Kokomi on a healing build, honestly, like Kokomi with Clam, to be very clear, might still output more damage more consistently than a Crit Kokomi build. This is still kind of a meme build, but it's substantially less of a meme than it was before in these teams. That's the point of this video. It's less of a meme, not that it's not still a meme. Memes can still be fun in this game. Honestly, it's like part of the fun of, this is immune. It's part of the fun of Genshin is doing meme builds like this and still trying to work them as optimally as possible just for the funsies. At least it's the fun of the game to me. I think it's where Genshin's strength comes out the most. Is like the creative framework allowing me to do goofy things like trying to crit on a character which has a negative 100% crit rate. They thought they could stop me with negative 100% crit rate. I think this team is just a fun, silly way to get some new value out of a character and doing a funky build. It's one of the best things I think about the new artifacts, which, you know, if you're like me, you're probably just farming up a whole bunch of the new artifacts for numerous reasons, whether it be for new characters or old characters. Alright. Sucrose, be kind. Give me all the doubles. 2. You know what? That's like exactly as... That's right at 10%. I can't complain. Alright, talents. Level up her normal attack. Blam. And, okay, good. Oh, yes, I have enough. Good. Okay, good. No more Spectre farming. Good. I hate... I'm going to cut most of it out, but gosh, I really hate Spectre farming because they're all freaking over water and way too spread out from each other. So, you know. Anyways, 237% charge attack damage. Woo. Before we go to the Abyss, I'm going to go test out in this domain here, and we're going to try to get maximum damage Kokomi. The basic goal here is going to be to swirl Hydro, with Kazuha, while also infusing Kazuha's burst with Pyro, so that there's Pyro application for Kokomi to then vape on a charge attack. That's basically the end goal here. It's a lot of sequencing of getting buffs up in the right order to try to do this properly. Theoretically, if I do it right, we should see some real big damage from Kokomi. I'm going to do this right now in this domain because it gives a little bit of bonus damage. I forgot where it shows it, but it gives some bonus crit damage, I think, when HP changes, which is, you know, nice for seeing a big number. And I don't know, we'll see what happens. I don't know how long this is going to take me. I'm doing it here instead of the Abyss because the Abyss is probably going to have to require us to play it slightly differently. I'm going to shut up while I try to do this because it's a bit annoying to try to sequence this all this properly to get a big damage number on Kokomi. We'll see if I can do it. I saw 48k, that's not bad. We can do better though. Oh, what was that? I think I saw 58k, not bad. Alright. We got 40% crit rate, 196% crit damage. The bonus crit damage is from this domain. Got 2700 attack from Bennett's buff. This is what I believe what maximum buffed Kokomi looks like. Let's see if we can get a crit. I did not get a crit. Oh, 62k. Nice. Okay. That was okay. I expected higher, to be honest. Seeing those random 20ks from Kokomi's skill is funny as well. Crit Kokomi. It's silly. It's not necessarily good. Definitely not necessarily better than just a healing build, but it's fun. I have no idea how many of my attempts at this trying to get a big number on Kokomi I'm going to include in the video, but it's a lot, trust me. Trying to properly swirl Hydro and get all the buffs up in this team, it's not worth doing. Like, you should just play the team in the Burgeon form, so, you know, yeah. Oh. Yo, stop it. Oh, 100k. There we go. Okay, you know what? I think I'm going to call 100k good there for this team. As I mentioned earlier in the video, theoretically I should be able to get more. I don't know exactly which buff I was missing there. I had most of the buffs up in this. So, anyways, there we go. Over 100k. That's good enough for me. I at least proved I can get the big Kokomi number. I don't know. I don't know. That's all that's important. Alright, and the second main team variation I actually want to show is this one now. So this one is a little bit more free-to-play friendly, right? It has Sucrose instead of Kazuha, and then Chungling, of course. The problem, of course, in this team is without Bennett, we're losing like a big damage buff from Kokomi, right? We're losing like 1,000 attack on Kokomi, which is big. And then the other problem is we don't have the Burgeon self-damage, so we have to make sure we hug enemies to make sure we take the self-damage from burning instead. That's why Nahida and Chongling is the combo here. The thing is, the idea with this team is that it should be able to swirl Hydro and Pyro easier at the same time, because Guoba has a little interesting thing that for anyone that doesn't know called Guoba Swirl, which is specific to Sucrose for some reason, where if you go Guoba, you can see Elemental Vision. You can see him glow red. That means Guoba's infused with Pyro, and if you time a swirl on Guoba properly with Sucrose's skill, Sucrose will swirl the Pyro from Guoba, as well as whatever element you have on the enemy. So we're going to basically try to have Hydro on the enemy, while we have Guoba out, and then time Sucrose's skill, so that we swirl we swirl Pyro and Hydro, as well as, which means we can get good Chongling damage, and then we of course have burning damage, which is not, amazing, but it's something. And then we try to, get a Vaporize on Kokomi's skill with the fast Pyro application from Chungling. That's the basic idea of this variation of the team. Oh, and just in case it's not obvious, this team is specifically focused less on trying to consistently deal good damage with Burgeons, because it basically will not Burgeon much at all. You could theoretically get Burgeons with Sucrose, but it's not easy. And more importantly, what it does is tries to get consistent vapes, and then also, of course, Chungling damage go burr, basically. Drop Golba and swirl. I think I got it. Whoop. Let me stop getting interrupted, maybe. Do that. Do that. Do that. And I didn't check. Oh, nice 50k there. Okay, yep. Not bad. I think I didn't even check. Okay, we did get the stacks. Yeah, I forgot to check if we actually properly got the stacks up. But yeah, that worked well. I mean, right. So obviously way less attack you can see here and less EM because we're getting, you know, EM bonus from Sucrose, but we don't have instructors on anyone on this team. Actually, Nahida shouldn't be on instructors in this team because the focus is not Burgeon, therefore we don't really care about Deepwood Memories, so I could improve the build a little bit more in this team if I had re-put Nahida on instructors, but it's fine, right? Point is, you saw the 50k there, you can see, and that only took me like 2 tries to get, and I had never played around with this team at all before. The illustration I'm trying to make here is hopefully obvious, is like, this team in my opinion is probably stronger, but is more Burgeon focused, right? And has more consistency rather than just relying on the chance that Kokomi crits, but it can occasionally see a big damage number from Kokomi. That's kind of the idea. And then with this team is more specifically made to try to work decently well, but also specifically consistently see vapes from Kokomi more often. And then also because of like energy needs for all these characters, Xiangling, Nahida, and Sucrose should probably all be on Fab. But, you know, there's things to improve in that team, but it's kind of just like whatever you want to do. It's the same general build for Kokomi, but just how do you want it to function kind of thing. And there's just different options for you. Alright, and now we're at the Abyss. So, I'm going to test mostly the Kokomi Burgeon team, but I also will probably test the Nilou team I mentioned earlier in the video, so you can see the damage from that. The Blessing is going to give us a little bit of elemental damage bonus, which is cool, but, you know, it's not going to insanely affect things, I don't think. I do have to do floor 9 and 10 and 11. I will only include footage if I manage to get like a big number off of Kokomi randomly. Otherwise, I'm going to skip until floor 12. Oh, a notable aspect I feel like I should mention is when you build up stacks of the artifact set on Kokomi, if you switch Kokomi on field, you immediately lose all the stacks. So you need to like try to keep Kokomi on field after you build up the stacks. Nice random 50k there. I didn't even try to get. Whoa, okay. Well, alright, here we are on floor 12. Floors 9 through 11 were all too easy, and everything basically died immediately. So, saw like 1 or 2 instances of Kokomi doing a bunch of damage, but hopefully we'll see some more here. Alright, we're doing Crit Kokomi in the first half. Even though it's single target focus, you know, these things are immune to Hydro, so, you know, Crit Kokomi first half it is. Magokenki is a bit cringe to fight, but it'll be fine. And second half, I'm just going to try to use an Aggravate team, which isn't necessarily ideal for this Abyss cycle, because, you know, it really wants Pyro on the second side, but I think it'll be fine. Energy recharge card, wow. Alright, ooh, look at that 82k there. Wasn't even trying. Ow, I don't know why I switched to Bennett. He is squishy on instructors. Alright, we'll try another rotation here. Do. I feel like he's going to teleport away because he's cringe. Try to, yeah, I hate Magokenki. Well, I'm gonna retry this until I get an actual real attempt against his butthole. You can play a little bit better by standing at the right range away from him to try to prevent him from doing his teleporting melee move, but it's just dude's really cringe to fight in my opinion. I'm not inherently against the idea of an enemy that's a little bit annoying like Magokenki is and running away from you. The problem I see is that like it's a time challenge in Abyss, right? So like it's just way too punishing. Oh, you're playing characters that need to stick near enemies? Screw you. Why? I could use a stronger team in the second side to deal with some of my struggles here, but it's fine. I want to struggle a little bit to show the ups and downs. I didn't mean to do that. No, why did you teleport, you actual butt? Wait. Please die. I hate this dude so much. Oh my god, dang it, man. Oh, I didn't have pyro on him. No. There we go. Okay, it did. Oh, that was a decent clear, but oh, it didn't feel good. I hate Masanori so much. Yeah, Kokomi didn't get any big crits there because 40% crit rate go. But I did see some decent non-crits. Like I think I saw a 30k non-crit from Kokomi there, which is pretty good, you know. And cleared the second side with 25 seconds to spare because I actually played well for once. What a world. 80 EM, I suppose that's fine. Would definitely prefer crit cards because Kokomi had 40% crit rate. Could certainly use more crit rate. Time for the crab. Kokomi should be pretty good at taking down this thing's shield. I believe you can do, you know, I believe you can do a sequence of just a few charge attacks here. And be able to get it down. Alright. There we go. Alright, cool. Now I'm going to do my full sequence. Do that. Do this. Alright, and let's see if we can get some Kokomi damage in. Blam. Nice 81k there. Beautiful. 51k. Yeah, there we go. Now this is how the team I wanted to show the team off functioning. So you can see a lot of the damage rate was definitely coming from the blooms there, but the fun of it is to be able to just still see the occasional vapes just for the funsies, right? Should you do this bit? I don't know. I'll talk about my conclusion after we test some other teams here. Can your stupid shield break, please? I hate you. Alright, there we go. Shield broken. Do that, do that, do this. And do this, and die please. Die please. Die please. Die please. I didn't Kazuha burst. That would have ended sooner if I Kazuha burst. That was dumb. Second side shouldn't be a problem, but I don't know. That felt like a pretty good demonstration of this Crit Kokomi build being pretty fun. Alright, yep. Cleared the second side with 40 seconds remaining. It is a strong aggravate team, and that chamber is pretty easy for aggravate, so yeah. Burst damage, that's not really useful. Sad.
Care for a dance? Dance with me! Be a good audience, won't you?
Ow, ow, Jesus. Snap, ow.
Think fast!
I think I did like everything I could rotationally do wrong there, but you know, it's fine. We're still killing things with Crit Kokomi. Look at the 16k crits. Honestly, 25k vaporize, nice. Alright, do that, do this, do this. Do that, and let's get some Kokomi action going. Hey, 58k, nice. Oh, we don't have any Kazuha up now. That's not ideal. And get that going again, and blam. Hey, End it with a Kokomi charge attack. Perfect. And there we go. I had 30 seconds remaining there too. No problem. And claim my rewards. Yay. Thanks, Crit Kokomi. So, before I conclude anything and talk about a few last things, I wanna showcase Crit Kokomi and a Nilou team, because I don't know, Nilou makes a lot of self-damage, so it'd be funny. We'll see how it goes. I do have like C2 Nahida, which obviously is gonna significantly buff Nilou's damage, bloom damage, not the damage from Nilou specifically, and I have Key of Caution Suit as well. So, you know, I can't really turn those off. So, yarp. Alright, for Crit Komi with Nilou, just for the funsies, I'm not even going to change Kokomi's build at all, even though I should probably change it to like an EM main step build. Screw it, right? We're just going to see Kokomi's damage numbers, and all of Kokomi's EM is going to come from external buffs from the likes of, you know, Nilou's sword, and then Nahida being Nahida. So, and then we're doing Mono Pyro Dia on the second side, because I don't know why not. Alright, and Crit Komi go. Let's see what we get. I have no idea what we're gonna get. 17k, let's go. Alright, it's Nilou still being Nilou and shredding through things. Who knew? Who knew Nilou, even when one of your main bloom triggers is not... I mean, my constellations in this instance might be heavily helping me out here. I am not going to promise that a Crit Komi is gonna make sense on your Nilou. Or sorry, on your Kokomi in a Nilou team. Alright, and they're dead. And do that, do this. If you wanted to do that Nilou variation with Crit Komi, I'm not gonna recommend it. But like, if you want to, I would probably recommend doing an EM main stat build with like crit substats just for the lulz. It probably would work fine. Alright, and Mono Pyro Dia still took care of the second chamber with time to spare, although I wasted my burst at the end, which was not smart. Alright, let's test the crab. Here we go. Alright. Do this. Yeah, let's see what we get. Hey, another 7. I mean, okay. It's the same damage it was before. Who knew? Wow. Wow, damage from Kokomi. Blam. Crab dead. Blam. Oh, die. 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 There we go. Alright, Mono Pyro Dia handled second side without a problem. Alright, Crit Kokomi go. Blam. 12k. Blam. This is such a stupid. Don't do Crit Kokomi on Nilou unless you're feeling frisky, I guess. I don't know. It's weird because like simultaneously, if you manage to clear Abyss at the same time, or within the 1 minute and a half time frame, what does it matter? And so do what you want. To be clear, I'm doing it because it's funsies, but also it's definitely not the optimal thing to do with Nilou. It's just working because at the very least I have the Nilou weapon and Nahida constellations that this works better than I feel like it should. No, don't freeze me. You butthole. 11k. Get wrecked by my Crit Kokomi. I keep on saying Crit Nilou. I mean, Nilou crits too, but she doesn't have a negative 100% crit rate, so it's much less impressive. And Dia cleared with time to spare. Well then, in conclusion, Crit Kokomi on Marchese Hunter set. Is it good? It's hard to evaluate. At the very least, Marchese Hunters with, you know, making it feasible on a not completely 10%, 20% crit rate with 50 crit damage, 100 crit damage build. Instead, it's like an actual enough crit rate that you see crits occasionally build. I think it's a real thing now. I do think it's a real thing. It's still a meme build, to be clear, but it's much less of a meme than it was before. I think that's hopefully what I proved, right? Yeah, and that's all it comes down to. And yes, I do have like investment on my account where, you know, yes, Kazuha C2 made a difference, but like, I don't know. I don't know. Your mileage may vary. I wouldn't call it good. But it is a fun, weird variation of Kokomi to use. And I don't know. I really like it. I thought a lot of fun doing that. So I don't know. Maybe you have the artifacts so ready to try it out, and you can try out some silly variation of Crit Kokomi. All you really just have to do is figure out some way to get Kokomi to lose health consistently. You can try to play it in a team where, you know, you just have to make sure you get hit. This current abyss, you get hit by so many of the enemies like that just shoot you 100 times in a row that you could probably just play Crit Kokomi without having to do like Burgeon or burning like I was doing here, and it would actually still function fine. But that's not going to apply to all abysses, so that this team is kind of meant to make it, you know, abyss agnostic kind of thing. And I don't know how much I'm going to use it more in the future, but Kokomi being able to have, you know, 40% crit rate, 120 crit damage, and see occasional 50, 80 Ks more if I sequence buffs properly is really fun and goofy. I don't know. As far as Crit Komi with Nilou goes, you can do it if if you feel like it. Yeah, take the Nilou run with a grain of salt. It was just a fun meme option. But it's something you could genuinely do if you know, just, yeah, put your EM main stat pieces on, right? This is EM with crit damage. I would need, I would need probably some crit rate substats. Look, I have EM with crit rate and substats there. Put goofy artifacts like these, you could technically make it work in Nilou and it wouldn't be terrible. Not technically optimal, to be very clear, but at the same time, do you need to be optimal if you're already clearing in a minute and a half anyways? That's basically what I showcased today. The whole abyss wasn't that hard for any configuration I did here. It was just annoying for the Burgeon team against Bagakenki because he teleports away, and that's a problem. But it wasn't the damage output that was a problem. It was just him teleporting. Anyways, I'm a rambling, so I don't know. To subscribe or go check out my Dia video where I fixed Dia's biggest flaw. And subscribe, comment. I'm a poet today.